Bonjour! Today you guys are going to learn a new verb, and it is the verb aller, which means to go. In your script last week, you guys were already using it, so that's exciting. Hopefully when you see it now, it won't be too much of a surprise. So aller means to go, like I said. I'll show you guys the song tomorrow. It's pretty ridiculous, and you guys know my songs usually are pretty ridiculous and they get stuck in your head though, so that's the point. Okay, so here are our conjugations for this verb. If I wanted to say I go or you go, he or she goes, this is how I would do it, okay? So I go is je vais, you go is tu vas, he or she goes, il or elle va, and then we have nous allons, we go, vous allez, y'all go, or you go, formal, and ils, elles vont, they go. What's going to happen is I'm actually going to give you guys a new question. Finally, we get to add a new question to our morning questions. And the question is going to be, what are you going to do this weekend? So now that I've given you the verb to go, this is actually also a way that you can use the future tense in French. That's actually right here, and that's called the futur proche, okay, the immediate future. So what I'll do is I'll ask you guys, qu'est-ce que vous allez faire ce weekend? What are you going to do this weekend? And then you guys would say, je vais, I'm going, and then you would give me a verb, whatever you're going to do. Or you could give me a place, I'm going to, je vais au parc, I'm going to the park, whatever you want to do. All right, so let's move on. Actually, the way to form this, like I just said, is nous allons, you conjugate it, and then you don't conjugate it, the second verb, if you're getting another one. So if you wanted to say I'm going to do something, like I'm going to eat lunch, I'm going to swim, I'm going to dance, whatever you're going to do, you only conjugate the verb aller, and you leave the other one by itself. So as you can see, I changed aller to allons, and I left déjeuner alone. I didn't change his ending. So, nous allons déjeuner sur la terrasse. We are going to eat lunch on the terrace, okay? Now, the next part is about the preposition à, and à can mean to, it can mean in, it can mean at. There's a lot of different meanings for the preposition à. Specifically here, what I want to go over is this contraction that it makes. So for masculine, whenever you see a plus le next to each other, immediately there should be a woo, woo, woo going off in your head, okay? Because a and le will never be next to each other, just like we don't like our vowels next to each other, right? So a and le don't like it, so it's changing to o. And that means to the, okay? So if I wanted to say to the park, I would say au parc. If I wanted to say to the movies, I would say au cinéma, okay? Same thing here, to the, it's à la, feminine. So actually, this one's okay. À la stays the same. So masculine changes, feminine stays the same. It means to the or at the. And then à plus le is going to change as well, and it's going to change to o. And then you'll have à and L apostrophe before a vowel. That's fine, okay? So you just need to know that these are the ways that you would say to the or at the. So if I wanted to say, if I wanted to say I'm going to the movies, like I said, I would say je vais au cinéma. Or if I'm going to the café terrace, je vais à la terrasse de café, okay? So you just use whichever one, depending on what comes after the blank. That's how you'll know. If the noun I'm talking about is feminine, I'll use the feminine form. If the noun I'm talking about is masculine, I'm going to use the masculine form. If it's plural, then I would use the plural form. And if it starts with a vowel, I would use before a vowel. Okay? This next part is just some verbs that we do use with the preposition à. Focus down. Let me show you guys this. So here are a list of some of those. And then I also all right, let's start with that. So verbs with the preposition à, quand on say à to start to do something, parler à, to talk to, penser à, to think about, téléphoner à, to call someone. These are just a few of the verbs with the preposition à. Make sure that you add those, write them down, get them in, okay? And then the last part is prepositions with names. So if I wanted to say if I wanted to say at home or in Paris, in a town, all of those are things that I'm going to do right here, okay? So à la maison is at home, à Paris, in Paris, en ville, in town, sur la place, in the square, dans la maison, inside the house, dans Paris, inside Paris, dans la ville, inside the town, and then à la or sur la or en terrasse. All three of those can mean on the terrace. Doesn't matter. All right, make sure that you have these notes. Whenever you come in, I will show you guys the song for the Verb Aller. And then what we'll do is we'll just do some practice related to that. Au revoir.